The one thing that's gonna kill her attraction for you is you being so dependent on the outcome, because people who are dependent on one option are usually that dependent because it's the only option they got. What's up, my man? Patrick James here, and welcome to another episode of Raw Dating Advice. In this episode, I'm gonna be talking about three steps really to overcome any breakup. Because here's the thing, man, I've been a dating coach for the last 5 years. I'm 30 years old, but a lot of people know, and I say this in almost every video because I want you guys to understand that I was once in your shoes. When I was 21 years old, I was a virgin, and I didn't even get good at game until probably like 22, 23, when I actually started studying this and investing in courses, investing in coaches, and taking massive action in my own dating life. But honestly, for that to happen, I had to have the inspiration to change. Because here's the thing, so many people these days, we live in something called quiet desperation. You're secretly struggling. I used to go to bed at night wondering if I was gonna be the type of guy who spent the rest of my life alone, never had a girlfriend, never was able to have kids if I wanted to have kids one day, because I didn't know how to attract the women that I was interested in. And for me to change, just like as Tony Robbins says, it took inspiration or desperation, or both. In my case, it was both. I was both inspired to change my life, but also just because I was desperate. I had hit an all-time low after getting my heart broken twice. And so I know if you're out there and you're watching this video and you're struggling with a broken heart, or you feel like things are not going to get better for you, especially in your dating life or even just your financial life, because dude, I've struggled financially as well. I know what it's like. And that's literally why I'm making this video, is for those guys who are experiencing one of those low moments just like I had for myself. And so I've got 3 steps for you today. These are not every fucking step to overcome a broken heart, but there are 3 ones that I definitely think will add some value to you in your life. And the first one is to realize how fucking lucky you are. Because here's the thing, man, most people will never have the opportunity to be as inspired to improve their dating life and their game as you are right now. Think about that. Most people, like especially the people who get one girlfriend and probably settle down with that girl for the rest of their life, they don't understand how much opportunity is out there to really create a dating life that they want by design. They kind of fell into a dating life and settled for that. And right now, if you're just dealing with a broken heart, if you're dealing with a lot of rejection, if you feel like you're not going to ever come out of this, trust me, you can do anything you set your mind to. If I can do it, a small town kid from Kansas who is a virgin at 21 years old can become a world-renowned dating coach by the age of 30, you can certainly improve your dating life. All right, all it takes is a little bit of action and reframing this situation in your head. You are lucky. Right now, you are at an all-time low in your life. And right now, you have more inspiration to change because you are at that all-time low. You are literally desperate for that change because there's only one place you can go from here. And that's up, my friend, right? So if you feel like you have no experience with girls, this is literally, this reminds me of a time that I was on a sales call with a guy who was a 28-year-old virgin, and this was a couple years ago, so I was actually the same age. And we were talking to him about if coaching was right for him. And he asked me a very interesting question that I'd never been asked before when someone was considering working with me one-on-one. And it was, Patrick, what is your success rate? Because this is a guy who had almost zero confidence in this area of his life. He was, for all intents and purposes, incompetent in this area of attracting women. And what I said to him was something that really I truly felt in my heart at the time, and I still do to this day. For you, my friend, for anybody, regardless of what your experience level is, my success rate is 100%, as long as you're willing to take action. Because if you take action, when you fail, when you get rejected, you're not failing or getting rejected. It's the story you tell yourself in your head. I don't tell myself, oh, I failed, I missed that shot, I missed that chance, there's not gonna be any women out there. That right there is called a scarcity mindset. And what's dangerous about a scarcity mindset like that is it's really easy to get trapped into it because misery loves company. And so when you're in that state of mind, you're gonna find other people to help confirm that why you are in that state of mind, because misery loves company, and you're gonna be talking about it, you're gonna be venting about it, it's gonna show in your energy, and people are literally going to try to validate you for being in that state. They're trying to bring you up, but you're gonna naturally subconsciously associate validation with just playing the victim a little bit. And so I don't want you to fall into that trap. So you gotta reframe this story in your head that this is actually a big opportunity for you and your dating life, all right? I want you to understand that. I want you to realize how lucky you you are, because I would not be sitting in this chair today, looking at this camera today, talking to you today, had I not had a very, very similar experience in my life. I think if I hadn't gotten my heart broken, if I hadn't reached that all-time low, if I hadn't gotten to a place where I was both inspired and desperate to improve myself, then I probably would have settled for a life. I probably would have settled for a woman that I wasn't 100% attracted to because I wasn't confident in my own ability. And so that brings me to my point. As long as you're willing to take action, you can only go up from here. That's the best part of an all-time low. Second step that I want to give you, second way to overcome a heartbreak, is to literally adjust your sight. All right, I used to go hunting with my dad all the time, and we used to go what we would call zero in on our rifle, because I would go deer hunting, right? And so we have this rifle, and there's a sight on top of the rifle. And when you go to the shooting range, you got to zero in the sight. So that means you look down the sight, and you're aiming for the bullseye on the target, obviously. And let's say you shoot, and the gun is completely steady, and it's on a smooth surface, and it's not moving, and you look down the sight, and it's pointed right at the bullseye, and you shoot it. Well, you got to look at the result of where the bullet actually landed, because your sight is actually a little bit off. And so that's why you've ever heard in those movies about snipers, they go 2 clicks to the right, 2 clicks up, 2 clicks down. What you're actually doing is you're adjusting your sight 1 or 2 clicks up and down, right? And so when you look and you see that your sight is a little bit off and you're not hitting the bullseye when it says you should be hitting bullseye, you have to adjust your sight. So right now you're at a point where you didn't quite reach your goal. You didn't quite hit your target. So you have to adjust your sight. And here's what I want you to understand. In your life, on an energetic level, where your focus goes, your energy flows. And this goes back to the whole reframing of the situation, right? When you see everything right now as a negative, then it's gonna be hard for you to come out of that state. And I don't want you to make that mistake, because when you live in a state of fear, it's really easy to try to seek the first thing that brings you a little bit of comfort, and then you literally settle into a comfort zone. The only way you're gonna come out of this is if you realize that comfort is not gonna help you grow. The only way you're gonna grow is if you embrace change, and if you embrace the fact that you're gonna come out of this. And if you embrace the fact that to get out of this, you have to come out of comfort, means that you have to step outside of your comfort zone. So talking about adjusting your sight, right now, you are probably really focused on the one girl who broke your heart. Many of you watching this video might feel like, I have to know what to do to get my ex back. Trust me, I was there. And I can tell you what, if you take your focus and you only zero it in on the one girl who doesn't want you, guess what you're doing? You're cutting out your opportunity to meet any of the other women, any of their billions and billions and billions of women in this world, because you're so focused on one, right? And I can totally relate to this, because back when I got my heart broken, I remember I was going out to bars and nightclubs with a group of my friends, and they would encourage me to talk to other women. They would encourage me to have fun and mingle with other people who were there. And I literally couldn't even look at another girl. And it didn't even faze me. They were not in my realm of reality. I was so focused and thinking on trying to get this one girl back who didn't want me, and I was so outcome dependent, which is exactly why that girl didn't want me back, because at the end of the day, in dating and seduction and making a girl attracted to you, the one thing that's gonna kill her attraction for you is you being so dependent on the outcome. Because people who are dependent on one option are usually that dependent because it's the only option they got. Literally, you are implying to her and the rest of the world that you have one option and you are living in a state of scarcity. Think about the guy who's nonchalant, the guy who women chase after because he gives her a little bit of shit. He playfully teases her, he playfully disqualifies her. He does a lot of the things that we talk about in my book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl, which you can get for free at howtogetthegirlnow.com. He does any of those things to create that conversational tension to get her chasing him, and those things subtly imply the exact opposite of what outcome dependent does. It implies that I have options. It implies that if you're not able to keep up with me, then I'm going to enjoy my life regardless, because I have all these other women who also want to be with me. That is called coming from abundance, and this is also called adjusting your sight, which brings me to my third point, which is realize that there are so many opportunities for you to literally meet women who are just as good, if not better, than the girl who broke your heart. Here's what I mean. People don't create abundance in their dating life and they stay poor. And when I say poor, I mean an acronym, P-O-O-R. They stay poor and never create abundance in their dating life because they keep passing over opportunities repeatedly. That's exactly what poor stands for. I heard that from my man, Caleb Maddox, who is literally on my new podcast. The link to that new podcast, which just launched, and this episode with Caleb Maddox is launching tomorrow. The link to that is in the description below this video. And Caleb literally says that poor stands for passing over opportunities repeatedly. And right now, if you're so focused on this one girl, if you're not willing to adjust your sight, if you're not willing to accept that right now you are in the best position to actually come out of this and succeed and be thriving no matter what age you are, then realize you're literally cutting off every opportunity in your life to improve if you're to only focus on that one girl. So all these 3 tips are literally kind of intermingled, as you can see. Realize that the only reason people change and improve is through inspiration or desperation or both. Every single hero's journey has that one moment, that one key defining moment, which is your call to action, your call to improve. Right now you're in that spot. Most people don't get that, and when they do, they are very, very late in life, and they're often unmotivated to actually take action with the opportunity. Second, adjust your sights. Stop focusing so much on the one girl who doesn't want you, because what you're doing is you're actually passing over all the other opportunities repeatedly. All right, so I hope you can see by now that all these 3 steps are really geared towards you actually accepting the reality of what's going on right now and actively looking for solutions rather than playing the victim of your current circumstances. You have unlimited potential in your life. You have the ability to come out of this on top. And if you're curious on how to actually go out and create abundance in your life, and actually when you get in front of a girl, know exactly what to do to get her attracted to you. That way she's not putting you in the friend zone and not ghosting you anymore, but actually chasing you in conversation, then I want to give you a copy of my best-selling book, 107 Proven Ways to Get the Girl. It's literally got 107 different ways to create attraction with women in conversation. That way she's the one working for you and chasing you. So if you want this book, copies are currently free. Just go to howtogetthegirlnow.com. Before we run out, all you have to do is pay for shipping and handling. We'll ship a book just like this to you anywhere in the world. On that said, I'm gonna get out of here, man. If you like this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next episode of Raw Dating Advice. Peace out, man.